the writer and creator of numerous comic books and graphic novels, including Nightmare World, Tales of Mystery, Made But Not Dead, all kinds of stuff. And I am super excited for you because you are getting to watch right now, right this moment, out of all the things we're going to be doing, you're getting to enjoy and revel in the Madness Comic Network. And that is awesome. Thank you for being here.
And now for something completely different.
Whoa, what's up? It is Friday. It is noon plus, unless you're over there in the West Coast where it's breakfast time. Yeah, we rattled this dude's cage, got him out of bed early, so he's probably going to have extra spicy stuff to say. What is up, everybody? Welcome to What's Your Issue? Today, it's Dave's issue. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Dave Howard NEM. What is up, brother?
Hey, what is going on, man? Yeah, I'm up. I am showered and shaved and drinking my coffee out of my Hellboy mug, so I'm spicy. I'm ready to go. So,
see, I already went through the coffee thing. I've graduated to the Gatorade for now.
Nice.
You know. But yeah, welcome to the show. I know when you posted in the Madness and you wanted to be on this, that it seemed like you had serious comic issues to discuss.
Oh yeah, and I've got them coming and going. So
but before we get on to those issues, don't forget to discuss this issue. Okay, this is Dave's actual work. Yes, Blood World, Phoenix Throne. Go check it out. I know you can't see it with this stupid background thing, but Go check it out, guys. Go check it
Yeah.
out. Now, what other issues do you have to talk about, Dave?
I have to talk about, all right, both of these issues have to do with international shipping. But on the one hand, as a creator, dealing with international shipping from the United States is a hassle, and I want to talk about that. But I also want to talk about, as a collector, if you are someone who collects indie comics from overseas, what you have to deal with that as well. So I'm ready to blow the lid off this. I actually did my research on a couple of these things to talk to your audience about before we come on, but I can go to either one first, but I don't know where you want to go with that. So I'm ready to talk.
This is your soapbox, bro. You get to present it. You get to lay it out in whatever order makes you feel the best.
All right. Well, let me start then with, as a creator, as an indie comics person. Now, for all of you out there that collect indie comics, just so you know, a lot of times we're doing this, for love, because we want to tell stories. It is really hard financially to get this to you and to get it and to work out all the financials and try to make a little bit of money. If you make a little bit of money, I think you're ahead of the game,
Yeah.
And I will say right now that our shipping services do not make it easy. But at least in the United States, we have this thing called medium mail, where you can ship something medium mail in the United States, and it's reasonable. For most places from California, it's about a little under $5. It's about $5 to send to you for shipping. So it's like, for most people, that's reasonable. Now, there are people who have wanted to buy my work outside the United States, and it is prohibitively expensive. I have a cousin in Mexico, and I drove to Mexico to bring them some of my comics because they wanted, now strap in, Pops, they ask you how much your comic is. So right there, you're left with a choice. You could either lie about the value of what you're shipping, and if it gets ruined, you're out of luck. You got to eat it. Or you have to tell them how much you're sending. They factor in the cost, but then they have this formula, and it depends on the country, where they multiply the value of what you're shipping by their perceived formula, whatever it is, and charge you that. So to send something to Mexico, which is only 100 and something miles from where I live, where he lives, for a $9 comic was $42.
Holy crap. Come on, man.
Yeah, even to
I
send
can get something from Dave in the UK for cheaper than that.
Yeah, to send to the UK from SoCal to the United States Postal Service, $35. Same comics. So, it's just out of control. And the thing is, there's really nowhere to go to. You could go to UPS, but they're not much better as far as prices and everything. They don't guarantee. So it's one of these things where it is a real roadblock. If anybody out there wants to create a shipping service, man, you could make a ton of money, because right now.
Now, RJ at Critical Blast handles shipping and fulfillment, right?
And that's why I want to talk to him, because if you can get a deal or something, you're good. Because right now, I'm turning I can't afford to turn customers away, but I'm turning customers away because who in their right mind wants to pay $55 for a 22-page comic?
Well, and that's the whole thing. It's like they take advantage of our love of the medium.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's some goddamn paper, people.
Exactly.
It's some paper with some art printed on it. It's not the actual art. Okay. They kill me with that, but that is something, and I don't want to turn this into a Critical Blast commercial, but that's where we go, because RJ does logistics first. That's his regular job.
Mm-hmm.
So all this stuff that he does is already tried, true, and straight up, right? Working with other people in other countries and setting up hubs in other countries also makes it easy, because they're either just shipping Like all 30 comics that are going to England are going to a spot in England in one box.
Right.
And then getting distributed out. You see what I'm saying? He's got it all figured out, man. That's why we endorse and recommend him for anybody that's having those kind of issues.
Exactly. And it's like, these are the kinds of things I think that we need in the indie community, support each other and talk about how we could do this better, because it's just way too much money and getting it to people. It's like, I hate telling people, hey, I can't send you anything, and not everybody wants digital. I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't want digital for the most part. I'll read digital, but I prefer to have it in my hands. So
see, I'm a collector. Obviously, you guys see my room. I collect comics, but I have the problem. My problem with digital is that I got to sit in the chair to read it. And if I sit in the chair, I'm getting a message from this guy. I'm setting up shows. I'm doing shows. I sit in this chair. I don't have time to read comics. And even if I tried to, I'd be interrupted by somebody or something and get pulled out of the story anyway. So,
Not to mention, I love besides the stories, I just love the art, and so as you can see, you can't see it, but it's like my whole side of my room. My wife is very understanding. She lets me put comics on my side of the room, not her side of the room, but my side of the room. And
okay, what's on her side of the room?
Her side of the room is very nice, artwork and stuff like that. My side of the room is all comic covers and other nerd stuff. So,
cool.
And I have a very understanding wife, because I know that most wives would be like, my side of the room is my side of the room, and your side of the room is my side of the room as well. So
basically they own the bedroom. We know that, but that's why we created man caves.
Yes.
I mean, the first kid you kick out, you don't give the other kid the room, you take it.
Unfortunately, it's funny you say that. I don't want to get sidetracked, but I used to have a man cave, and then we had kids, so the man cave got turned into a nursery. Yes. Now one of my kids is gone, and his room got freed up, and it got taken over. I was like, I was too late. I didn't pounce fast enough.
Oh yeah, you got to jump. You got to jump, or it'll be a sewing room or something in no time, right?
It's a guest room now. I'm like, guest room? It was like, the heck with them. It's my room.
Guests are not here every day. I am.
Yeah. So the international series, it's just a big deal. And I think that, obviously I'm not Congress. I can't do hearings, but I think we're getting fleeced. I think that we are getting hosed, and certain countries are more expensive. And I understand that certain countries, there's more of a risk of shipping down there, but I have a hard time believing that hardened criminals are waiting to hijack my comic coming down there and take it and resell it. I mean, I wish that it was in that much demand, but I really don't think it is,
And even so, if somebody in another country steals one of my comics and starts telling people about it, hooray!
Yeah. Exactly. So, but that kind of brings me to the flip side, which is as a collector. And obviously, it is expensive, although not as expensive, to have things shipped here from outside the country, which right away tells you there's a problem. Because if I can get stuff shipped from the UK here for less money than it costs for me to ship stuff to the UK, then we're getting ripped off here in some way. Yeah. But look, I'm all for national security and everything, but I'm pretty sure that my copies of Titan Comics or 2000 AD are not a national security risk, So, and the last 4 issues of 2000 AD that I've had come to my house from overseas, they have been open, they've been folded, ripped. I mean, just messed up. And it's like, and you go back to the company and it's like, what are they going to do? Because if they resend it, TSA is going to do the same thing. But TSA keeps opening the stuff coming from overseas. I get stuff from France. I get stuff from the UK. I've gotten some comics from Italy, and it's getting to the point where I may have to cancel those because TSA appears to be just opening stuff at random, and they're not like thinking about it's like what it's in a clear plastic cover, and it's rigid because it's got the boards and stuff in it, but it's clear plastic. You can see exactly what's in it, but they're opening this stuff and doing all this. I don't know if you've had this problem before, but I mean, I'm encountering the fact that I get stuff from overseas and I get a box or something and TSA doesn't open those, but with my comics, my magazines, stuff like that, they're just destroying everything. And so as a collector, I mean, I'm going to say this is obvious, but there's nothing worse than getting your new comic and it's ripped or it's bent.
Somebody's already been reading it before you even got to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I will say I'm running into the same kind of issues like with Canada, because we had the sale auction a while back, and Doran won some stuff, and we had to ship it to Canada, and we paid an exorbitant whatever amount in the first place, like $40, and then when he went to get it, they charged him another $40.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it was like, how does this work? How does this even work? Where you already got this ridiculous amount to ship it there to cross the border, and then you're going to nail the dude that it's going to for more.
Yeah. And
like, they didn't tell me it was $80. They told me it was 40. And then if he wants to get it, it's another 40. What? Yeah.
And the worst thing about TSA is that they have the hubris to let you know it was them that did it, because half the time, if it's like ripped open or whatever, like the package is ripped open, they'll put like something in there that says inspected by TSA or this or that, and I'm like, well, thanks for letting me know you ruined my comics, and you can't complain to them. And the other thing that gets me, and this was kind of where I was going with all this, is like, it doesn't matter shipping or receiving. You could put stuff on there that says "do not bend" or whatever. That's like an invitation for them to be starting doing origami with your comics or whatever. So, shipping is just really out of control. So,
I stream almost every damn day. I don't know how you're not seeing me, bro. I'm just saying, we're out here every day, every freaking day, with at least 2 or 3 shows.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. It seems, with everything else that's going on in the world, it's not a huge issue, but it's my issue. And, as far as comics coming in, I'll figure out a way to deal with it. But the one that really bugs me is that shipping international, because, as all of you indie creators out there know, and Madness is here to help us sell our comics. And when we come on these shows and you help us sell a comic to an international buyer, who is like, hey, I want to check that out in Germany, or hey, I want to check that out in Brazil or Argentina, and then you can't send it to them because it's just too expensive.
Well, it's like some places it's not even that. I don't think you can even mail anything to Brazil right now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some countries that the unrest is so ridiculous that you can't even, they won't even let you mail stuff to them. Yeah. It's like, come on, guys. Comic books.
Well, it's like one of the new Space Monkeys. The artist is in Argentina, and I've tried to send him stuff. He did stuff for the stickers and stuff. He did that artwork for the Space Monkeys on Blood World, and I want to send him stuff just to send him stickers, that are not super expensive, and I'm trying to send it to him, and they want $15, $17 to ship him stickers, so it's like
to ship him little stickers like this.
Yeah. So suddenly that sticker right there turns into, just from a pure cost standpoint, before you ever try to make any money off of it, $17.50 or something like that. So
the one with 2 guys on it must be worth $30, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So, but speaking to your audience as a creator, he's going to Comic Cons in Argentina and he wants to be able to sell stickers. And it's like, if I could ship them to him reasonably, and get them to him so that he could make some money and stuff off of it, it would be great. But shipping them down there for $17, I'd have to send him thousands of stickers for him to be able to make any money. So,
I mean, you just can't stick them like in a manila envelope and send them like it's a letter.
You can, but the problem is then you run into the same issue with kind of like what we're getting with when you get international comics here, is they don't get handled the same way. So, and everything. So, but even with the manila envelope, they don't have media mail for international shipping. The USPS, They've got first and second class and something else. So, even at the lowest class, it still costs all that money, And then, like they said, they ask you for what the value is. Now, if you want a lot at the post office, you can get a little bit of a discount on what's going out, but it's not a ton. And I don't know about you, but where I live, I don't trust the post office to deliver anything. So I'd like to know that I've got some protection. But
I try to catch them as soon as they pull up, because they're either going to leave it, they're either going to try to fold it and fit it in the mailbox. They're going to leave it out in the rain or the snow. I don't trust them. As soon as I hear that mail truck coming, I go out there because I don't want wet mail. First off,
I know this is a what's your issue, but I have actually been investigating. Now, I live fairly close to an Amazon fulfillment warehouse, but I've been investigating. Amazon does have a way where you could, now Amazon's going to take their cut, but you can fulfill stuff through them as well. And because of what they do and everything, they kind of eat the shipping for you, with Prime and everything. So,
well, that's one of the things also RJ is working with, Walmart, Barnes and Noble. He's expanding into everything he can in that way as well, because you want to be doing what he does. You want to be ground floor in anything new that you can take advantage of that helps us.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the whole thing. It's logistics. And he's always looking for the angle that's better. But the cool thing about this whole thing that RJ does is if you sign on with RJ for fulfillment, it doesn't cost you a dime.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing right now.
Out of the shipping cost. That's how he gets paid. And his logistics, he obviously has to make it where the shipping is low enough for him to do and still make a couple dollars, right? But I mean, that includes bags, boards, Geminis, the whole, you pay for none of that. Now, if you want special shit, like the bags with your logos on it and stuff that the Gemini goes in, I think then it might cost a little bit more. But again, you have to raise the shipping price then to get that extra cool, keeps protected from the weather bag. Right. But he, like you said, it's always about trying to whatever's new, whatever's coming out, whatever's the newest angle to help us. That's what RJ's about.
Yeah, I think I the last time I was on the Madness, I talked to RJ a bit, and I'm definitely looking at going with him because I think, from an indie creator standpoint, I think my solution to this is that I'm going to have to find someone to do distribution and stuff in the United States, and then someone who will go and help me do distribution, physical distribution of stuff overseas, So, and it's the same way with novels, So right now, my physical copy of my books is all through one publisher, and internationally, that's fine, but coming into the United States, it's just too much money right now. So I got to figure out a way to do it.
And he's doing that now too. That's the cool thing. He's doing publishing, through print on demand. He just keeps expanding so that whatever it is you go, man, I need this, you're going to be able to go talk to RJ about it. He's smart. He's got it figured out.
I guess as a one over the world look at my issue right now, it's just as an indie creator, or even as like if you're a small, an up and coming writer or something like that. the roadblocks that are there for you to break in are just so huge. I was looking at trying to get stuff into like Barnes and Noble and into the system to be able to get to all the independent bookstores and everything. And I understand where the booksellers are coming from, but they want you to have, most of the time, if they want to buy your book and stock it, they want to have the option to be able to return unsold copies, which means you have to buy them back, which is, if you're a small creator or stuff like that, that's a lot of money. So,
well, I wouldn't go to them to have them print until the book is in demand. People are asking for it. People are like, hey, man, you need to get this book. That's when you go, all right, I'll let you print some more.
Yeah.
You got control of that, but it's still like anything else. It's supply and demand. It's fan driven. Can you get enough people to go to Amazon and buy your book?
Yeah.
Or go to Barnes and Noble, the brick and mortar store, and buy your physical book? Can you get people to do that? If you can, then you let them do it.
Yep.
But I mean, I wouldn't chance that going in unless I had other distribution avenues. Like, that's the other cool thing. RJ's got his own store that on the website that directs you to Amazon or wherever the hell the book is at, for you can get it print on demand, or he's got available print copies, however you want it, and that's, like you said, he's just going to keep trying to give the creators whatever they ask for.
Absolutely. So
that's all he's done since I met him, is keep giving people what they ask for.
So yeah, I mean, so that in a nutshell was my issue, is that, I saw you advertising the show and I was like, yeah, I just ran into this the other day, with getting comics. It was literally within the same week I had comics come in. It was 2000 AD. This time came in and they were all messed up. And then I was shipping stuff overseas and ended up with gas. Gasoline is not inexpensive, especially in Southern California, and more expensive. It was cheaper to drive down to Tijuana than it was to ship it from my house to TJ. So,
and that's crazy. It's only 100 miles away, and it's cheaper to deliver it yourself.
Yeah. So it's almost like I said, if someone wants to figure out a way to create a shipping service that actually is reasonable, you could probably make a ton of money. So.
Oh yeah. It's just like a hub in every country that does volume, any kind of volume, right? You're going to want a hub in the UK, a hub in Australia, a hub in Canada. I hate to say it, but yeah, there's a lot of good Spanish comics right now as well, like the 656 crew, and they're actually, I think, printing them both in English and Spanish for distribution south of the border. They live down on the border, but you know what I mean? It's like, it's all just being a step ahead of the game. They're going to figure out a way to screw you after you figure out a way to get past getting screwed every time anyway. You come up with something good that works, and they're going to figure out a way to tax that.
Well, plus, from a collector standpoint, we're going a little off topic, but me, I love to go off topic. So,
issues, bro. You can talk about whatever you want.
Yeah. I remember in the 80s growing up that one of the cool things that would matriculate across the border for us here was the Mexican version of Spider-Man, which was fantastic. And we would collect those, and they were amazing. And if you've never seen them, you owe it to yourself to go get some, because they love them some Gwen Stacy down there in Mexico. So, and B, it's like a telenovela, but with Spider-Man. So it's amazing. Yeah. But now that stuff's not coming across the border as much, because, unless somebody like is smuggling it across the border when they're going, from whatever. But it's hard to get those things easy back and forth. And then we would get comics from, once they started doing comics in Brazil and Argentina, they pop up in indie stores every now and then, and stuff from all over South America and things. and you don't see that as much anymore. And it was cool to collect stuff from around the world, to see that stuff. So
we were talking about Chinese comics last night, not manga.
Oh, wow.
Chinese comics during the horror movie club, because the Kung Fu Theater. I'm sorry, because the movie was based on the Jademan comics. You know, and I'm sitting here and I didn't know a lot about these, and now I want these books.
I was watching a little bit of that Kung Fu Theater last night, which was good. So
yeah, it's good stuff, man. But I mean, I didn't know anything about those comics. Now I want to read those comics, and the art in those books looked crazy good.
Yeah,
you know, many steps up from the manga they look at today. You know, I mean, I was kind of blown away. So anybody got any Jademan comics they want to toss my way? I'm over here.
I mean, but that's always been one of the cool things about being in this community in comics, is that, you know, you start off, if you're an American, you start off with usually DC or Marvel, and then you go to indie, and then eventually you find other stuff, you know, and it's like, I found Battleship Yamamoto, you know, and then I found, you know, Titan Comics over there, all the stuff that they do, that's French. I found Asterix at Gaul, you know, and then all the UK comics are amazing, Italian comics. You know, one of my artists is from Nigeria, so there's comics going on over in Africa, you know, so it's great to see it from all over the world and all the different styles and everything, and it's cool to collect. So, yeah, man, it's like these people need to get out of the way, because, you know, the world is a much smaller place now. We all want to see what everybody else is doing. So
yes, but I mean, shipping anything overseas is ridiculous. Anything. It's not just comics, but
yeah.
But we have to have them distribution hubs in other countries if we truly want to bring the cost of international shipping down for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
They won't do it for everything and everybody, but if we have those hubs in the indie nation to fall on, you know, I mean, we know this guy in the UK will distribute your books if you send them to him in bulk, and he'll handle it for his small fee or whatever to the people in the UK that he collects from when he ships a book to them.
Yeah. It's almost like,
I mean, it would still be cheaper than what we're dealing with sending an individual book.
I mean, I love writing science fiction, and it's almost like I wish there was a store or a service where they'd set up a store, and there was like an automated, maybe using AI, a system back there that when you buy a book, it prints on demand, but it's automated. It just prints the book and assembles it right there, and then it comes like out of a little assembly line and says, "Here's your book." You know, boom, there it is.
Now here's the problem from the collector's standpoint of that. I want to know how many are in that first print run. I don't want them just being willy-nilly printed around the world and no numbers are.
That's true.
You know, but that's from the collector standpoint. If you're just a reader, yeah, hell yeah, print on demand, get that book right now. But that doesn't have that. This is the first printing on it, or you know what I mean. Which to collectors, obviously, I want the first print, not the third print or fourth print.
Right.
You know, unless they did something extraordinary to the third or fourth print that made it ridiculously expensive, right? You know. But you get to the third and fourth printing, you already know your book is legit.
Right.
You know, then you can go to print on demand. It's the third, fourth print. Who cares anymore? Okay, there's a bunch of them. Print them up, right? But then first couple print runs, I want to know that number. How many of those are up? You know.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, because I remember I found a book at an estate sale once. It was a copy of The Hobbit, and it was a first edition. And I was so excited because I got it for like 50 cents. And I got it home and I looked more closely. It was first edition, third printing.
Third printing, yes. Which is still not bad. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you're getting the actual first cover of The Hobbit way back in the day, and it's one of those original covers, it doesn't matter if it's third printing or fifth printing. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely is. So, but yeah, you know, it's like, and plus with first edition, you know, first printings, you want it to be limited run,
Yeah.
so, and
Because
everything.
you want to know.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't care if they printed 5,000 of them. I want to know. Because when it gets to, like I said, third and fourth print, and there's been a whole bunch more printed, those 5,000 carry a little value more than the others. I just want to know, though, and as soon as if they start doing print on demand out the box, you'll never know how many of those, and that kind of kills the collector side of it because.
Unless, I mean, there would be ways to do it where you put like you're keeping track because you would have to have it, you buy it from a website and then it farms it out to wherever this is to print. And it's like there's a limited number and then it cuts off, and then a new version is printed or something. So
that's the other thing. You send it to different printers, right? And then they may not have that same color palette. They might come out different. The cut might be off a little, or
that's true.
Different, It's like that first printing has to come out off the same press, man. Maybe I don't care after that, but that first printing as a collector for me, I gotta know. Those are all the same. They came off the same press. They got the same color palette. The word bubbles are in the same place. The mistakes are all the same. Do you see what I'm saying?
But you're hitting on it though, because it's like that's what you look for as someone who likes to read the physical medium, and then if you're a collector as well, because I'm sorry, that's another thing for me. It's like as a creator, the first time that you look at your artwork digitally, it's really cool on your comic or whatever. But when you actually hold it in your hand, it just looks different. The art is different. It's on a piece of paper. It's amazing. So. Yeah, we got to find a way for that not to go away. So that's my issue, So I hope everybody. Very cool.
Visual storytelling by Caputo, Ellison, and Steranko. All right, there might be a little something to that.
They might know a little bit about it. So
Warren Ellis, Steranko. Yeah, you might get a little something out of that. But we are going to talk about this other issue here.
Okay,
because as you've pointed out, you are a creator. Now, I'm going to get rid of this stupid background so you guys can actually see this thing. And I'm going to make myself kind of big just so you can actually see this thing for a minute. This is NEM's issue. Blood World, Phoenix Throne. And yeah, there's his name right there. He's there. This is his issue, y'all. And right from the beginning, you get unique page layout, everything. Right from the beginning, this thing looks beautiful. The art is on point. Good story. I actually read it. Everybody knows I don't do reviews. I did have somebody say that these ads, they thought they were part of the story, and it was like really confusing them, and they didn't know.
Oh,
dude, those are ads. Those are in-house ads. Those are kind of part of the story, but not part of the story. They're part of the nostalgia. I was like, enjoy them separately, like a one-shot. Like a one-shot page, right? Is like but then he was like, okay, I'm gonna have to go back and read this again.
Yeah, I mean, I did do it. It was kind of my love letter to the comics that I grew up with in the 80s and 90s, So even to the point where the back cover is my homage to the stuff of the 80s. Yeah,
okay,
that is coming,
a Star Wars homage to the space monkeys you created. Yeah, but I told him, I said, go back and read it again. I said, you come to one of them full page things that you don't understand, just flip past it and read on. But this is good stuff, guys. If you didn't get you one, can they still get one?
Yeah.
Yes.
They still can. They get digital copies on anyoneworld.com right now. Physical copies. I am preparing to do a second printing for a lot of stuff, and I'm going to be offering them. Right now, I got to get my website up and going, but you could get them through me personally, or I'm going to put them back on Kickstarter and offer them as was it late pledges, so I can restart that. So we're going to be doing that, and yeah, and I also going to be offering them again when we do the Space Monkeys Kickstarter, which is coming sooner rather than later. We're going to be kicking that off at the beginning of the year. So, because it is being drawn right now and things are looking really good with that. And I got another, I can announce it now. I've got another comic coming out, a superhero comic called Eladio. So based on where I lived in the Inland Empire. So he's a superhero that uses shadows, and it's going to be cool. He's called Eladio, La Sombra de la Muerte. So the shadow of death.
You're going to have to learn Spanish to read this one. Is that what you're saying?
You might. Like, we're going to give you subtitles. Don't worry about it. So, but one of the things I'm going to do with this comic, I'll say real quick, and then go back to you. But he's going to speak in Spanish sometime. It's going to be subtitled, but I'm also going to release the comic completely in Spanish.
Nice. Because
I want to be able to get that back to my peeps, my homies here in SoCal and around the world. So,
well, I'm a fan of, doing other language translations of comics. How else are you going to get to other countries to really, if you really want to let somebody know what you're thinking, people, you got to speak to them in their own language. I heard that on a record album once. REO Speedwagon.
Once again, as a collector, it is cool to collect stuff in the original language. I've got issues of Asterix the Gaul in French, so help me polish up my French. So
if I see, like we were talking about last night, a badass Chinese book, I want this badass Chinese book, but I can't read Chinese, guys. So if it doesn't come translated for me, an American in English, I'm kind of not going to be able to read this, right? Do these things, man. If there's a demand, or if it's like your book, you're talking about somebody who is from that culture, so yes, you expect them to know the language and speak the language. Do these things, people. You don't have to do it for every country, but if there's a demand, or there's a cultural background in Spain, then by all means release this book in Spain in a language they understand. Portugal, if the people in Portugal like your book, translate it to Portuguese and make it available to them. Again, the shipping issue is an issue, but not if you're doing the PDFs. The PDF translation could be done pretty easily, right?
Bringing it back to the big two. I mean, how cool was it when Cyclops or Magic would speak Russian and they give you the subtitles? So yeah, it was always cool. So, and then when I ended up taking Russian and realized they were actually speaking Russian and everything, and it was right, I was like, oh, that's even cooler. So
yes. That was one thing I did like about Marvel. When they give me them little boxes and stuff, it usually was on point. If it was directing you back to another comic where this happened that they just mentioned or whatever, it was usually on point. It gave you the real. I remember, I think Defenders 45, there's some Rush lyrics that Doctor Strange uses in a spell. And they actually give a little credit to Getty, Neil, and Alex, although it was Neil's words, right? But they gave credit to all three of them, the members of Rush, for using that little 2 lines out of, I think the song was The Twilight Zone, 2112.
Cool. I mean, even to the reader who was a little confused with the ads and everything, I mean, with future books and stuff, I love to do the old stuff Marvel used to do where they did like an editor's note, or, and eventually I would love to do, if that reader wants to write me a letter, I would love to, or, a comment, I would love to put letters and comments about the comics in the back of my future comics and do like a Stan Soapbox or answer letters and stuff. I miss that in comics. It was one of the coolest things.
I know somebody who does that. Jose Corrales in the Wonder Kitty books. There's a letters page in the back. Crom actually wrote them a letter.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Crom wrote him a letter. All he did was talk shit about me, but he wrote them a letter, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, that kind of stuff is fun, guys.
I mean, and those were the cool things that that's one of the reasons I do indie comics. You know, I didn't want to turn this into a promotion thing, but hey, we're always promoting, okay. Right? Yeah,
it's your issue. You got to talk about all your issues.
Yeah, but I love that because I want to bring that to the next generation of comics people, because that was one of the coolest parts in the 80s and 90s. I loved, for instance, I'm going to give you an example. Old school Deadpool. Deadpool used to answer the letters in the back of the issues. And Deadpool was an a-hole, but it was funny as heck, man. So it was good.
It was all that fourth wall stuff.
Yep.
And I mean, we're even trying to do stuff like that now with the fourth wall interviews. You know, yep. I mean, those kind of things were fun, and that's all I want to do is bring people stuff that's fun.
Right.
You know, I want them to come back because they had a good time watching this show. It made them chuckle, made them giggle a little bit, or made them think, which kind of this show is more directed toward, you know, come on, man, tell us the things that bother you so we do have a chance or an option of trying to fix these things. Right. You know, if nobody says anything, how the hell are we supposed to do anything about it?
I will also say to whoever it is that you know was confused, hey, if you're ever confused about anything I write, or you want to give me a comment or or criticism, anything good or bad, hit me up on DMs or let me know, because I love to hear that stuff, because I'll talk about it, and anything I could do better, you know, I will try and do better, or if I could explain what I was thinking or whatever I'm doing.
Well, I knew right away as soon as he went, man, I didn't know what happened. It just kind of took me out the story, and I was like, man, it's an ad, bro. It's a parody ad. It's fun. Read it separately from the book. Go back to the book. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at this again. You know, I mean, it's if they didn't watch you on the shows leading up to it, or the shows talking about the book, they didn't even know that. This is somebody who saw your book and went, yeah, I'm gonna get that, without really knowing,
and without having funny.
Seen you guys talk about it. You know what I mean? It was like,
because people who saw the comic before it came out, there were a few people who gave me that same feedback, and so I kind of weighed, leave the ads in or take them out, leave the ads in or take them out, and I was like, you know, what I'm going for with this book is a throwback to what used to be, and so I went with that. Not that I mind new books where all you get is the story. That's good too, but it's like I really want this to be
throwback to the fun we used to have.
Man, yeah, by homage to what used to come, you know, and it's So, and you know, hopefully people, you know, it won't be for everybody, but hopefully people see what I was going for and enjoy that. So, because that was one of the coolest parts. Like we talked about it before, but like one of the cool things of the 80s were those crazy ads that would come in, where in the middle of the story you turn the page and there's Batman chasing the Joker, and he throws like the hostess, you know, stuff at everything. Yeah.
Yes. There was a lot of stuff, man, that, you know, it's not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Marvel and DC got so weird that, I mean, I don't even think I pay attention to any. I mean, even if I do see something, like, I think the last big corporation book I bought was Vampirella 666. Okay,
got that.
I didn't read it. I got it because it was. I think Stuart Sager did the cover, and he was there, and he signed it for me, and that's all. I don't buy any of that stuff to read anymore because it just doesn't give me that same entertainment value.
Well, not only that, I mean, even stuff that was before my time that I collect, like I don't have an original, but I found a reprint of the first comic I ever reviewed, and then I found it, a reprint of it, and got it. It was called Voyage to the Deep. It was from the 50s. And you go through that thing, and it's just like a journey back in time. It's got all these ads. It's got ads for chemistry sets with real radium for kids in it and everything. It's just a cool look at what was going on at that time. And that's, I really appreciate that as a collector and a reader. And it just takes me back. And then obviously the thing on the back with the space monkeys, that was always the most fun for me as a kid. I never ordered any of that. I think I ordered one thing off of the back of those things because I never wanted to cut up my comic to mail it in or whatever. But you would look and it had the X-ray specs and build a hovercraft out of your mom's vacuum cleaner and all that stuff. So it was always so cool.
Yeah, I got RJ in my chat in my inbox right now. He's doing a show later tonight on the network.
Cool.
He's bringing a weekly show back to the network once a week. He's doing something either Thursday or Friday night. And tonight he is doing a show. So look for that around 8-ish, and then ADHD Theater at 9, and Freewheeling Friday with Eddie Lima. You know Eddie Lima, right?
No, I have not met him. So
I think isn't he from that same. I thought he was from that same group of people from the Anyone world. I met him through Laurie.
I don't know. There's so many people in Anyone world now, it's hard to keep up. So, although at some point we need to talk. I got a ton of stuff going on right now, but I am looking to create a show called NEM TV. Mm-hmm. So, and I want it to be just a show that has music videos and talking about comics and horror movies and all sorts of stuff. But call it NEM TV. I already did an intro for it, and if I can figure out how to do it and not get copyright striked, I would love to talk to you about bringing it to the madness. So,
well, we have this platform that we do certain shows on that we know would get flagged on YouTube and everywhere else, but we still can do our shows. I've been doing certain shows on pill.net that don't go anywhere else. Okay, last night, you know, the horror movie club, the Kung Fu Theater, all that. I actually show the movie on Pilled before the show. You see, so you can go on Pilled and watch the whole movie and then listen to me and Brian and Preston and Matt talk about it afterwards. Right?
Yeah, and that's what I want to do. I want to do, we're kind of having this discussion now for everybody, but I want to do a show where I put on, some of my favorite music videos, and we watch those and we talk about that and have guests on and we talk about comics and pop culture and those things. But with as a general variety type show, because I've always wanted to, ever since I watched MTV, the first time it aired was it back in 1980, the old VJ type show. And so I was looking, and then I created an MTV logo and the thing and created my own theme song. So I've already done all that. So that's what I'm looking at doing. So maybe I will talk to you about that. Yeah.
I have no problem with it. We have a platform we can put anything on now. I mean, I ain't messing with, porn and shit like that, but you know what I'm saying? We have a network now where we can play movies, we can play videos. We have a place where we can go and still do that. And we're growing over there pretty rapidly too. I haven't been there that long. I'm already at 100 followers over there. And it probably took me 6 months to get 100 followers on YouTube.
Cool.
You know what I mean? So it seems to me like more active. The people that tune in actually watch. They don't just like tune in and leave. They tune in, they actually watch shows. There's fan involvement. I really like it over there. So,
Hey,
but one of the things that we do is we kind of curate the shows for the platforms they'll work on.
Cool. I will definitely about that thing.
And then once we start Roku on,
yeah.
Anyway, you guys do whatever you want. They can deal with me.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at that going forward. Is once we get to Roku, the rest of it is. I mean, you can do, you can do whatever you want on your networks, your YouTube channel. That will YouTube let you do what you want to do? You'd have to get individual license permission from each of the videos that you'd want to play, stuff like that, right? I mean, not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just the last thing that happened. Here's another issue. Check this out. So Laurie and I a while ago did the show, and we loved the idea, and we haven't done another one because Laurie Calcaterra, I'm sorry for everybody, where we did the show, and it was vampires versus zombies. We're going to do other shows, and we showed clips from movies without sound, where we were talking about, like, vampires versus zombies, dance off. Who dances better, vampires or zombies? We showed Thriller for zombies. We showed, I think, Van Helsing for vampires or something like that. But it was clips from without sound. It was short clips, and we got flagged by YouTube for it. And they weren't even full screen. And
we could play that on Pilled all day long. We could probably play it on Rumble all day long. It's just even Facebook probably would just give us one of those little warnings where we have the option to remove it or not, but it's already played. Who cares?
Yeah.
Right? You see what I'm saying? It's like they're all stupid and different.
Yeah. Well, the thing for YouTube, now this is just the NEM bitch session, but the thing for YouTube is that they're not even consistent with their rules. If you got a big enough following, you can do whatever the hell you want.
And the funny thing is, the movie that we showed on Pilled last night that I couldn't show on the rest of my network was on YouTube, and that's where we were sharing it from YouTube to Pilled.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube, but if you try to play it on your channel on YouTube, they'll smash you for it.
Yeah. Well, and it's like one of the things I love to do is I love to watch reaction videos, which is kind of one of the ideas behind NEM TV, although I'm not planning on doing reaction videos. But, people will play videos and react to them. And it's like some people can play the whole video with the music and they're fine. Some people will get blocked. Some people have to blur it out. It's like, what are the rules? So at least let us know the rules so that we can figure out what to do. But
well, yeah, be consistent for sure. Like I said, we're taking it. I took a show off YouTube last night, played it on Pilled, but I couldn't play it on my own YouTube.
Yeah. Well, I know you're a huge fan of YouTube. You've never had any problems with them at all.
Oh my God. They're making me every day. They make me verify who I am. Like this is coming from a different location or something. Like
Fair.
Somebody else is logging into my account. It's like I never get a notification that says, "Hey, somebody tried to log into your account from here. You should change your password." No, I don't get that. I get you need to verify who you are every stinking day. It's crazy.
Last thing I got to bitch about. This is just in general, but I'm curious if you're like me or if you like this. Do you hate it when you log into something and then they want to email you or text you some code that you have to go find and then put that in as well? And I'm just like, look,
That's what I mean. That's the verification thing.
Yeah.
Every time I go to YouTube to load a new show or whatever, I have to do that every stinking time. I got 5,000 videos. I'm in most of them. You guys should know who I am by now. Right?
Do you know how many things I have not bought on Amazon because I go to log into Amazon and they want to send me something to my phone and my phone is like on the other side of the house? I'm like, look, I don't need it. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. Quit making me work to give you money. That's it's like, that's another one that kills me, man. I try to pay my phone bill. And it's on the the re thing every month. It's supposed to just pull the money out of the account and pay for it. I'm not supposed to have to dick with it, right? Every month I have to physically call them, because their automated system can't figure out what my problem is. I'm trying to give you money and you won't let me. Oh. So every month I have to call them and talk them into taking my money. What a dumb shit.
Last thing, if you're a creator out there, I had to deal with this the last couple months and it came to a head this week. Watch out for scammers, artists who are scamming you. I'm too nice, and finally my wife had to tell me to just cut this person off. But yeah, I was in danger of losing a substantial amount of money because I went back on my rule, which is I pay for art after I receive it. And luckily I was able to stop, but there's a lot of scammers out there and they can get really nasty. So if you're an independent creator, watch out for it, especially on Facebook. There are a lot of people messaging creators or friending you who are scammers. So,
and look, guys, anybody that's telling you they're going to bring you views, they're going to bring you backers, they're going to bring you this, they're going to bring you that. If you just give them a little money, look, it's really easy to go see what kind of a promotional footprint somebody has on social media. It's really easy to tell if they actually do this work or not.
In my case,
I have a huge carbon footprint on social media promoting people. It's not a question of whether or not I do it. When somebody's in your inbox telling you what they do, but you go look and you don't see it, block them fucking scammers, man. Just block them.
Or if they don't, if they want to circumvent protections for like merchant services for paying for service and stuff like that, and want you to send it through, friends and family or whatever. So in a way that you can't, ensure that you're,
Yeah. Just if it sounds shady, even a little bit, it probably is. But like I said, you can research really easy. Okay, that same account, that same profile that's in your inbox going, I'm an SEO specialist and I can do this and this and this for you. All you have to do is click on their profile and see who else they're doing it for. Oh, dude's got 3 friends. Well, he ain't doing that. He's just trying to scam you out of money. He don't actually do the work.
Don't be nice to scammers. Like you said,
you want to give somebody money for the work? I'm over here and I'll bust my ass if you're throwing money at me. That's different. I actually work for people when they throw money at me. And this is what I just do for fun. Yep. Do you see what I'm saying? I do all kinds of promotions that don't have anything to do with anybody giving me anything. You want to see me work? Throw some money at me and watch.
Absolutely.
It's a different game, you guys. This is fun. I love doing these shows. I love talking to people like you, especially this show has turned out to be really different because the creator can come out and talk about his issue. The collector can come out and talk about an issue they just bought. Okay, this show is for everybody. It's fan-based. You want to come out, have the soapbox for an hour, talk about whatever's driving your motivation at the moment. Come on out. That's what this show is for, and we're going to have a fun time doing it. Now, I'm not going to let you just leave without me knowing that you got to talk about everything that was on your mind. So if there's anything else you want to cover, you still up?
No, I'm good. You have drained me of my issues at the moment. So
I am going to take this opportunity to do a little, what's this issue? What's my issue today is what came in the mail.
Ooh. We doing an unboxing?
Yes, we're going to do a little unboxing here right now. Some of you may know Thomas Doherty, SoCal. Okay, he's down there where you're at. Committed Comics.
Cool.
He's one of our previous sponsors and probably future sponsor again as we move into the new year. Some of you may know that Bill Moss guy. Bill Moss, Near X. I'm pretty sure that's what we have in here is the Dark Seas #2.
Cool.
We won't know until we get it open because sometimes Tom just sends me stuff. I never know for sure what it is. I sent him a message and said, what's in the box? And he didn't answer me with an answer that told me what was in the box. So, yes, but I'm right. Oh, look.
What's in the box?
It is a Nira X steel keychain.
Cool.
It's Nira X, you guys. I got to turn this stupid thing off again. Hold on. Yeah. These virtual backgrounds are great for everything except showing stuff off. They suck for that. So there's this cool little keychain, this Nera X keychain.
Very cool.
I don't know if it's Nera or one of her compadres, because there's other characters, and I think the other ones fly. I don't think Nera flies. Oh, all this masking tape, dude, is totally sticking to the bag. That's horrible. Wrong kind of tape, Tom. You want that blue stuff, bro. The blue stuff or the green stuff. Ah, man, that just tore this bag up. Ah. Yeah, down here, this whole bag got tore up right here from that masking tape, dude. Don't use masking tape. Don't use masking tape. Use painter's tape. Much better. Okay, so we got stickers.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Now let's get, oh, yes. They always take care of me, too. Tom always takes care of me. He sends me one with Bill's autograph and then one that's, you know, that I can read. I'm going to leave the one with Bill's signature in this bag, and I'm pulling everything else up. There you go. We got Bill Moss, everybody. Nera X Dark Seas #2.
Very cool.
Oh, it looks beautiful. Very nice. We got prints, them stickers, and more stickers, and more prints. And look, it's a wall of fame. Everybody who backed it is on the back of this print. That's kind of cool.
Definitely.
Right? And the book herself, Nera X Dark Seas #2. And yeah, I get to add another one to my reading pile. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Bill Moss, Tony Moy, Cat Moss, Thad Rhodes III. A lot of people involved in this. Alejandro Cruz. And of course, Thomas Doherty, editor of Committed Comics. Committed Comics. Go check it out, everybody.
Very
Look.
cool.
$6. $6.
Nice.
But yeah, this is why we're here. This is my
$42 if you want to send it overseas. So
yeah. this is my issue for the day right here. Nera X. Man, I might have to get a new bag for that one. That bag just got tore. Look, masking tape just tore that bag all to shit. And I was trying to be gentle. And that masking tape just tore it all the way across. That's not cool. Not cool. I'm going to need a new bag for that one. Oh.
Very cool.
It's okay, Thomas. I still love you, brother. The book's in fine condition. It just messed up the bag. But yeah, this is how we do it, people. My name's on this thing somewhere. Somewhere my name's on there. You think I'm on
That's cool. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, it is. It's nice print. And then on the back of it, it's got everybody's a giant thank you to all of our Kickstarter backers. That's what it says at the top there.
That's really
Giant
cool.
thank you. And then, of course, that's a lot of backers, yo. Yeah. Oh, shit. And I'm like right there near the top in column 1. I'm like
Nice.
right near the, come on, show it. I'm like way up there, right near the top of column. That's cool. I didn't have to read very far to find my name. That's awesome. David, I know you said you got other stuff coming, so I expect I'm going to see you again here sometime soon.
Absolutely. You know, and anytime, you know, I love to come on this. I'd love to go. What's the name of the show again? Where you have the creators do? Yay! What's going on now? The creators break the fourth wall. So
where I interview your character.
Yes.
Oh yeah. See, that one's fun. It's called Fourth Wall Interviews, and that's exactly what it is. We don't talk about you. We don't talk about your campaign. We don't talk about your art team. we don't talk. What I do is interview your character, and he tells me about. I ask him about his life, how he got his powers, if he has powers, where he lives, what's up in his universe, what's up in his dimension, who's the bad guys are, who's he fighting with, whatever. Right? It's an interview with him, and if you can get in your character's head, and be your character, and I know you can because you're an RPG guy. I know you can. I would love to interview any of your characters.
You know what? I would come on and let you interview several characters all at once, and since I'm schizophrenic, I can switch between them. So yeah.
They'd all have to be in the same place.
I could do that too. So
I mean, you know what I mean? It's like Crom drops me in the dimension of the character I'm interviewing, and then we just go. It's, you know what I mean? It's like, it's really fun. It's a fun show to do. So, I mean, I've only done a couple of them, but both of them have been just fun. And the guy who we have this week on Monday, Cole Rossi, I don't know anything about his stuff, but he has an improv background and everything. So this one's probably going to be really good. We're doing it live. There ain't going to be no edits, no cuts. It's going to be fun.
I would love to come on the show, and honestly, I would love to channel my little demonic doll and be Maisie, and be Maisie the demonic doll being interviewed. So yeah.
I want to interview a space monkey at some point too.
Hey, I could do that too. So just don't make me be one of the people from Phoenix Throne, because that would be it. It would be interesting. So
we'll leave that one for Bracey.
Yeah.
We'll let Bracey come out and we'll interview him as the prince there in Blood Throne. That'd be cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be a ton of fun. I would love to come on and do that. I've talked about it before. When I write this stuff, half the time my wife looks at me like I'm nuts because I do the voices for the characters as I'm writing them. So,
you got to be in the part, man.
Yeah.
That's method writing.
Yep.
We'll call that method writing from now on. Not method acting. You're in the head of the character you're writing. That's awesome.
So I will save it for the show, but I do have a Maisie voice. So yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, we set one of those up for you anytime you want, man.
Awesome.
I do like people to actually put some thought into it ahead of time, what they want, out of it. We don't script anything. The questions are all pretty generic. It's the answers that matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, the questions are kind of generic. Hey, where the hell am I? Who are you? And you tell me where Crom dropped me. And as long as you're descriptive in your answers and they last for a little while, the show goes really good. But if I'm like running out of generic questions to ask, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. No, it's role playing. Like you said, I love that stuff. I love doing the voices and being different people, and yeah, that's a ton of fun. And interviewing a space monkey would be a blast. It would be an absolute blast. So,
and I get to do it from the other side with the Killer Karen show, where I get to be Dante.
Yeah, well, I got to talk to Laurie C. I haven't talked to her for a while because of everything that's been going on, but I want to get on Killer Karen, and I need to get her back and talk to her about stuff. But yeah, you're right. I do have stuff coming up because besides the comics, I bit the bullet and got back to writing. So I got short story stuff, and I'm writing books 2 and 3 in my horror series right now. So
cool.
Yeah.
I do proofreading too, just in case you didn't know that.
Hey, I may hit you up on that. So,
all right, brother. Hey, I'll definitely tell Laurie you want to be on Killer Karen. That's a no-brainer. We have you on that show anytime you want.
Cool.
Just cool. Be ready for Karen. It ain't Laurie.
Yeah, I've seen it. I was like, good Lord, Laurie. I was like, you're schizophrenic as I am. I was like, you got bunch of people dying to come out of you. So
oh man, and the next show, the guy who we recorded show with yesterday came out ready. That's all I'm gonna say is he came out prepared. As soon as you see his name at the bottom of the screen, you'll know what I'm talking about next time. Like, we came out ready for it. It's fun. Like I said, it's like I want people to think ahead of time, think what they want to do, make it fun, come out and have fun. That's what the madness is about.
Very cool. All right.
Hey.
Cool. Thank you very much for having me on, Pops, man. This was awesome, as always. So,
all right. You get with me about the show you want to do. You get with me about Killer Karen. You get with me about anything you need from me, brother. You know, hit me up. I got you.
Definitely. Have a good one, brother.
You too. I'm going to play some ads, people, and we're gonna look at some other people's stuff because that's why we're here, to look at people's stuff. Dave, have a great day, man. I also, another thing I want to talk to you about, gaming. Another thing on the side, gaming. We don't have a game stream. It's driving me freaking crazy, bro. We need a game stream in the network.
Hit me up. Hit me up. So I'm gonna go bail. You know, I've got a bunch of stuff going on, so I gotta go check out some stuff. But hit me up, and I will get back to you for sure. So.
Cool. Have a good day, brother.
Yep. I haven't talked to you. Bye, everybody.
Peace, everybody. We're gonna play some ads. Y'all know Zaf, right? You know Zaf.
It's Flip City Magazine, The Parodies, Special Edition, with savage send-ups of The Walking Dead, Star Trek Picard, Stranger Things, The Mandalorian, Guardians of the Galaxy, and more from the first 4 years of Flip City. Get Flip City The Parodies free when you subscribe in print at flipcitymag.com. The world's best satire magazine, and never, ever woke.
Little president in his sandbox play, build a tower, make it stay. Digging deep through the golden sand, building the future with your hands. Tiny suits and shiny shoes, making plans and making news. Friends all gather to join along, in the sandbox they all belong. Little president from that play, every day a brand new day. Learning, growing your own way, in the great big sandbox that is the USA. The USA. Share your dreams with everyone. Sandbox fun under the sun. Big ideas taking flight. With Little Trump, everything's bright. Dig a moat, build a wall. In the sandbox, he stands so tall. Dreamer dream, builder build. Little Trump, your heart's fulfilled. Little President Trump, that play. Every day a brand new day. Learning, growing your own way. In the great big sandbox that is the USA. Hooray, hooray, for the USA.
when a series of shipping disasters points to a mysterious sea monster. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson leave the comfort of Baker Street and board a freighter where they encounter unexpected betrayal and come face to face with the enigmatic Captain Nemo and his submarine, the Nautilus. As they delve deeper into the case, they uncover a conspiracy involving a Russian Tsar with an airship that rains destruction on unsuspecting cities. With time running out and the world on the brink of war, the heroes must use all their skills and resources to stop a massive conspiracy and prevent global conflict. From Eisner-winning writer Mike Baron and illustrator Richard Bonk, dive into the depths of adventure and unravel the mysteries of the sea with the world's greatest detective in Leviathan. Order now at baroncomics.com.
Just back it already.
How do you end this thing? How do you put the where's the brakes on this bus? I forgot.
Jazz hands. Jazz hands are done.